What's the deal? What's the deal? Overly zealous, your engines are fueled. What's the deal? What's the deal? You say you're tired of fighting, and you say you're tired of trying, and you say you've had it up to here, you've had it up to here, you've had it up to here. Overly pretty and overly cool. What's the deal? What's the deal? Overly zealous, you look like a fool. What's the deal? What's the deal? Hey Gerald, it's within you, it's within you, it's within you, deep within you. Hey Gerald, if you want him to, if you want him to, he can show you, he can show you. Another step, another leap, another jump until it's over, until it's through. Another slice, another trap, another circumstance distracting you. Just hold on, it won't be long, it won't be long. Just hold on, you will start to get strong. And when the peace comes, when the peace comes, it will find you, it will find Hey, welcome to another Music Monday where I skip around and decide whenever I want to do Music Monday, and you guys just have to guess. So here we are today with another Music Monday. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope all of you have been well. I have been doing a lot of recording, which has been great. And a few weeks ago, I posted Torch Singer, which is number 83 in our list here. Yes, and I skipped 82 because I was so excited about it. I really love that song, you guys. It's and I think I mentioned it before. It was a song that the band rehearsed a lot and was going to play for the Daisy Chain Music Festival in Portland, which was a big deal. There was actually I think I explained this already. There was a promoter that called me up at work one day when I was working as a receptionist at a real estate office in Portland, had heard about us because we did have our name, going around pretty significantly in the Portland, Vancouver area. And actually further than that, because my bass player's dad and my bass player, they were really internet savvy, computer savvy back in the day when it was still very new. And he was able to do live streaming of us. And this is way back, guys. This is like talking about the 90s, okay, late 90s. Or as some young people are calling it, in the 1900s. I'm not old or anything. So yes, in the 1900s, the late 1900s. He did live streaming, and it was choppy, robotic looking, but he live streamed it around the world, and we actually got quite a following other places. France, where else? The Scandinavia area. We had this group of people in California, and when we were making our album and we were going to do a tour, which never ended up happening, this girl emailed, and her friends were planning on driving up to come see us the next time we performed, and that just meant so much. Yeah, there was a lot of people that messaged. Gosh, I don't even know if I've saved those emails, where they are, but it was just great to get these fans from all over the world. So yeah, and it was all because, he would live stream our practices, actually. So it was really cool. Way back in the day, before that was just cliche now. Everyone live streams, and there's so much out there, and which is great for us independent artists because we have a lot more exposure than back in the day when we used to literally have to be rehearsing nonstop and doing shows all week, every weekend, and a lot of work, which people still have to do, obviously, but there's a lot more exposure now online, which is why I'm doing this YouTube channel, which is great. So anyways, I'm obsessed with Torch Singer, and I will talk about it because that would have been, in this group, I guess. I'm doing two today, just so you know, but in the middle of these two was Torch Singer, and the Daisy Chain Music Fair was an amazing experience, again, just because our name was out there enough to where we had a promoter contact us. And at the time, the drummer had quit. He actually quit on my 21st birthday. Thanks, Jason, if you're listening to this. No, I'm not holding any grudges or anything. No, it was common, I guess, while we were in the studio. My producer said a lot of times people, which I may have explained this already, but, you're doing a lot of soul searching. You're doing your first album and planning on maybe doing a tour or whatever, and then everybody's really thinking, and I guess they thought because it was all my music, it was like, you have an album, you have exposure, you have this stuff. The drummer wanted to do his own thing, the guitarist wanted to do his own thing, and my bass player is my boyfriend. He stuck with me, but he decided to go into computer engineering shortly after that and go away to school. So very challenging time for me personally, because I was really having a hard time. And again, a few weeks ago, I explained the depression and anxiety thing, and that was really starting to take hold of my life a little more strongly at this time. So when the Daisy Chain Music Fair came about, it was to promote stuff for a battered women's shelter, to promote trying to raise money and funds for women that were abused. And I didn't take it as seriously as I probably should have as a young 20-something, 21-something. To the extent that I, should have really been feeling for what we were doing at the time, instead of me just being like, yeah, we're getting exposure, we're in the paper, because they did an article on us and everything. And that wasn't our first article, by the way, that was our second article. And I think we were in a magazine, we were on a radio show, we did a lot of stuff before then. And, but I was just thinking of, the exposure and where this is going to take the band, to really focus, which is the same thing that I did when I actually did a concert, for the days for the battered women's shelter at the YWCA, and it was a big show that was right after high school, and we rented out a theater, and it was in the paper, and it was a big deal. We raised I think $3,000 or something for it, and that was an awesome experience too.
amazing. But again, my mind was in a place of, I am promoting myself and this, we're going to get famous type thing, and not really focusing too much on what we were doing, even though I knew it was a good thing, but it was more like a publicity thing, to be honest. And it was my drummer's idea actually to do this, which was great. But yeah, my heart wasn't in the right place. And now I see kind of how much more I could have maybe done to help. I mean, yes, we raised money in both events, but anyways, that's just me lamenting over the fact that I was immature and in a more of a selfish place at the time. I've always had a heart to help people, even when I was young, but yeah, this time it was really, we were working so hard and we just really wanted to make it big, you know? So that's really where my mind was, and that's all I did was rehearse and perform and all that. Sorry, I know I'm making this long, but during that Daisy Chain music festival, I had my first panic attack, and I was sick the week before, of course, before this big show that was, publicized all over Portland. It was going to be kind of like there was bands all over Portland playing that were going towards this event. So people can just like do a pub crawl type situation, check out all the musicians, and help raise money and awareness for this battered women's shelter. And I had been sick. I was downing a bunch of tea. I don't know if I had so much herbal tea that it was doing something, but I basically went into panic attack, not knowing that's what it was, and I could not go on stage. And this was a big deal for us, and I sat back on stage or behind stage for a very long time. And my mom came because my sister had been going through something similar, and I had that little white pill, alprazolam, to mellow me out, and I took half of one. And before it really had a chance to kick in, though, I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, this is not me, because I've never been a nervous performer. I mean, I've been doing it since I was like 3 years old, and so, nerves were not really a thing for me. I'm very comfortable in front of people and on stage. And so I just looked in this mirror that was back in the green room behind the stage, just going like, this is not me. What is this? So I remember just running, and I probably did one of the better performances I did in my life. And we only were able to do 2 songs because each band got like a half an hour slot. And it sucks because we didn't get to perform Torch Singer. And I do remember when we had sound check rehearsal the day before, we did that song. And there were like people coming out, like, because it was a bar that we played at. It was Mount Tabor Pub, actually. And there was a cook or somebody in the back that actually came out and was drawn to that song, was sitting there listening. And I could tell he was really moved by it. And I was so excited to perform this song. And I did try to cue the band to skip the set list stuff that I had, since I knew we only had 2 songs to play that we could play. And I started walking to the keyboard, and they immediately went into the next song. So I just gave up and just went with the set list. But so it was disappointing that we never got to actually perform that song. But I love the orchestration and everything that I came up with recently, and the harmonies and the vocals and stuff. I was struggling with my voice with the first take, which I ended up posting, not on YouTube, but I did post a second take of the vocals on Instagram at Malia Cortez, I think is my Instagram. Or it's at Malia Cortez Holin. But anyways, I can't remember, guys. Sorry. But, I am on Instagram. I think if you just maybe search for Malia Cortez, you'll see it. It'll pull me up. But, so, yeah, I redid it because I wasn't happy with the vocals. I was having issues at the time with my voice. And, so, yeah, I didn't want to repost a YouTube video. But you can find that on also my Facebook. That's also that's Malia Holin on my Facebook. If you look up Malia Holin, that's Holen, and you can find the redone video there. I'm sure it's not done completely. Maybe I'll go in an actual professional studio someday, or do that kind of stuff to redo it. So, all art is work in progress. And again, I'm sorry I'm rambling so long about Torch Singer, but it really is a song that I love. And I hope that it's gonna, be out there a lot more for everybody, because I feel like it has a good message. But that was a pivotal moment in my life as an artist when I developed panic disorder at the time. And it was very crippling to me as a performer, because I got agoraphobic. I couldn't leave the house. So I'm opening up here with some real stuff, guys. So I have had a lot of experience and years of healing and whatnot. And so, again, I'm always here for people, because it makes it worthwhile that I've suffered with something it was really tragic and traumatic in my life. And it was all in my head. Isn't that great? Mental health stuff is just, wow, nothing's really happening, but you're freaking out for no reason. It's not no reason. There's more to it. I don't want to discredit. It's a lot and it's real. But and it takes work to overcome, but it's worth it. And I'm here for you guys, for anybody who wants to talk. DM me, whatever. So yes, I love that song. Who knows how many more times I'll put it out there in the world to see, but I'm going to move on from that. But just saying that time in my life was very pivotal when that song was around, and changed a lot of things, and was hard for probably the next 5 years. So yes, but now it's behind me and moving on. And so song 82, the first one today, was called Nothing. And I don't really know when about. I don't know if I did this while I was dealing with anxiety or depression. I was kind of dealing with that before the anxiety reared its head. But trying to make sense of life and how everything happens for a reason. It's kind of like this song. So I like it. Again, it wasn't something the band played ever. They heard it. This was near the end of our career together. So they did hear this. I don't think we had the drummer anymore. I think we were kind of auditioning different ones at the time. And then, yes, 83 Torch Singer, 84 Inner Chamber. And this song at the real estate company I mentioned, I wrote it for Jerry Goldsby. He was a very, very dear friend of mine while I was there. He really was a creative sounding board for me, and was, kept inspiring me to be me as an artist. And I read all of the books for my Sapphire's Egypt series that I had written so far at the time, which was 7, and 6 books, 6 or 7. And I read all of them to him. He was there. Every time I'd write a new chapter, I'd go back on my break and read it to him. And it was, yes, a lot of time in his office, reading him books and bouncing ideas off him and stuff. And so he was really, really supportive, great guy, like family. He became like family. Everyone at that company did, actually. And my dad had worked there since I was really little, so it already felt like that. So yeah, my dad was with the company for 40 years. So yeah, so I wrote this song, but his name, Gerald, about him and I actually would get in debates because he was Buddhist and I, being a Jesus follower, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, and anyways, that's a little bit about me. That aspect is super important and has been very influential in all of my creative pursuits and my life. So, and in my healing from my anxiety, just an FYI. But him and I would have these debates or whatever, and so this song just came about when I was just thinking about him and wanting him to understand, my faith and find that freedom and the amazing power of what it is to me. Of course, you love people around you and you wish that all of them could understand and experience, the amazing thing it is to love Jesus, basically. So anyways, yeah, it was just kind of a song about that, about him, me just having faith for him to maybe one day, find Jesus, find out what that's all about, and experience all the amazing stuff that I had in my life. So that was basically that. And it's kind of funny. I'll have to tell you this little interesting story. Here's some paranormal, supernatural stuff. He passed away from heart issue. He had heart issues. He had like a stent in his heart when I got to know him. He was much older than me. I think when I was in my 20s, he was like in his late 50s, early 60s. No, he retired. So yeah, about late 50s, and then he retired while I was still there. But he, so he passed away, and I'd found out, this is after I hadn't been at the company for a while. It was very upsetting, and it'd been a while since I'd seen him. And it was not long after he died that I had this dream, actually. I remember I was at the bottom of a set of stairs, and he had come around and was at the top of the stairs. And I remember just being really amazed, and I ran up the stairs, and I was like, oh my gosh, Jerry, what are you doing here? You died. Why are you here? And he said, I just wanted to let you know that I'm okay. And it was very emotional, powerful, impacting dream. So I'm just having faith on that he's okay wherever he is right now. And it was very, very strange dream. One of those dreams where you're like, that's something different. It stays with you. And it's very vivid and all that. So that was an interesting experience with that. But so there's a little bit on all of those songs. Inner Chamber, 84. So if I am back next week, we'll see. With 85, Consider the Birds. It may be a little bit, because honestly, guys, I wrote this song and never did anything with it. I didn't write it on the guitar. I wrote it on the piano. So whether I decide to make it a guitar song or not, we'll see. But yeah, that may take me a little bit to try to get to that song. But yeah, we're winding down here, guys, in my big old binder. And I appreciate all of you who have stuck with me, who listened to me yammer on. Some of you probably already stopped. I like looking at the analytics for the videos and how like the minimal time that people listen. They're like, and the songs are cool, bye. They don't want to listen to me sing or talk, but that's okay. If you're here for the music, if you're here for my experiences and hearing me talk, whatever you want, it's fine. But I just want to know, I want you to know that I appreciate you guys. So I hope you have a phenomenal week. If I'm back next week, awesome. If not, I'll see you soon. You all take care, and thank you for listening to another Music Monday.